Peak Wealth Management proudly presents the Trust the Plan podcast with Nick Hopwood and Jim Pilat, where we believe by providing education and guidance, we can help you retire with peak confidence. Now, here are your certified financial planners, Nick and Jim.
Welcome everyone to episode 203 of the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick Hopwood.
And I'm Jim Pilat.
And this is a big week here. Got the rivalry week.
It is.
For those of you who don't like football, maybe fast forward like 25, 30 minutes until we get into the main topic.
We're going to dig deep here. Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm just kidding. Hey, we got here. This is me at Penn State a couple weeks ago. Penn State was a fun trip with some friends, and we're sitting here in the very upper corner with all the Michigan fans from the ticket office. Like, picture right there. That's where we are. And that was a lot of fun. Strange game, but good trip. Good. Penn State was a good host.
Yeah.
I'd go back for sure.
The fans were hospitable.
They were. Good. And so now when we think about this week, right, the game, what's on your mind, Jim?
Man, it's obviously a big game. It's always a big game. There's a lot in the line. I don't know how the team will react without Harbaugh. I feel like some of the play calling lately coming in slow, or just play choices. I don't know if they're missing Harbaugh on that or what, but I think they need to clean it up and really look sharp. Yeah,
it is interesting without Harbaugh how JJ has fallen off.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you look at his stats, the first few weeks, particularly the Bowling Green game where Sharon Moore was the coach. And then Penn State and Maryland, right? We know what happened with Penn State with JJ. But remember, Bowling Green, he had those 3 interceptions in the Bowling Green game. And then Maryland, it just was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, I think they're missing Jim. I do.
Probably a calming presence for JJ,
Yes. Yeah, and I think, Sharon Moore is the offensive coordinator, the play caller. But, Jim is right there. Yeah. in his headset, right? They're talking it through
for sure.
Yeah, and so I think you're missing that for sure. We've waited all season for the undefeateds, right? And it seems like actually in 21 we had 1 loss, but last year undefeated and this year undefeated going into the game. That hasn't happened very often.
No.
And 2 years in a row, I don't think it's ever happened. So it's pretty exciting, and so I look at the Las Vegas betting lines, and right now Michigan's like -4.
Okay.
But it was -6. So money's coming in for Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
That's what that tells you.
Yeah.
But I'll also remind you that last year, and I forgot about this. Guess what the line was last year?
Down in Columbus.
Yeah.
Was it Ohio State?
Yeah.
Minus a few.
-9.
9. Wow.
Right.
Huh.
Yep, -9.
Okay.
So obviously Michigan covered that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember, this is kind of funny. I remember reading this book a long time ago, and it suggested, it's kind of a personal growth and development book, and it suggested write down your perfect day. Guess what was in my perfect day?
A beating Ohio State.
Yeah, or at least going to the game.
Yeah.
So win or lose, we'll just say it'll be exciting. What's your prediction?
I think Michigan will pull it out. I don't see them pounding them like they have the last couple of years, but I'll say I don't know, Michigan 27, Ohio State 24.
Very good. I actually didn't come up with a score, but I was I'm along. I like what the line of thinking where it'll be closer than the last 2 years. In the fourth quarter of the last 2 years, it was within 1 score until we blow off the doors at the end. So probably something similar. Probably I won't be able to sit. I'll be at the game, but kind of like biting my fingernails, pacing back and forth. Yeah, exactly. So I like Michigan. Maybe by 1 score. A few points. And then on to Iowa in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, that I don't see as much trouble with that one.
No. Here's the other question. If the loser of the Michigan-Ohio State game, can they make it into the playoffs?
Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's such a big game, because I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough, especially for Michigan being behind Ohio State in the CFP rankings right now.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the loser does not make it in.
Yeah.
Whereas last year Ohio State lost and still made it in. They had a few things really go right for them with, USC losing in the Pac-12 championship game.
Yeah.
But you have Washington undefeated, Florida State undefeated. Alabama sitting there with one loss. If they beat Georgia, maybe they could propel in. Texas has one loss.
Oregon has one.
Oregon, yeah. So I feel like you're really cutting your chances short.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
All right, well, let's get on to today's main topic, which is an article from the Wall Street Journal telling us that Mint is getting shut down January 1st. So if you don't know Mint, it's a budgeting tool, basically a website app where you connect your bank accounts and other investment accounts, and you can see where your money is going. You can update your net worth, analyze your finances easily, with having the connections.
Right. Kind of doing your budget on the fly too, right? You can input the expenses and things like that.
Yeah. So I think it's a great tool, but it's getting shut down. And so the sub headline here was, few people really want help with their budgets, and even fewer people are willing to pay for that help. And I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah. I can't argue with that thinking.
But what have we been preaching for years?
We talk at great length all the time about expense tracking, and I think part of the reason that we do is because, budget's is a dirty word, right? It's a word that people don't like. People don't want to hear it. They don't want to do it. It feels restrictive. It feels like you have no freedom or flexibility. But expense tracking, is we just need to know what the number is. Put it on the sheet. Tell us what it is. Let's look for patterns. Let's look for, things that are, starting to become consistent over time.
And we have this great template for everyone to use since their Mint is getting shut down.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get like thousands of hits on this page probably starting in January. Yeah.
Easily.
So it's peakwm.com/expenses. And if you're watching on YouTube, which is the best way to absorb our content, you can see we have the template here. And it's not just expense tracking. It's a spreadsheet with expense tracking and net worth tracking all in one. It's even better than Mint.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
So all you have to do is download the file. And by the way, I get emails all the time. They click the image here, and it's just an image.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to update the website here, but this is the link, okay? So click the link, and you download this Excel file. We also have this podcast companion, episode 55. Also, episode 13 is the original expense tracking episode. So if you want to learn how to use the spreadsheet, those are good things to listen to. But, the spreadsheets will not be going away.
Right. That's actually the best part of them, right? Is they don't go away. You save them forever. You can go back and look at the last few years.
Yeah.
See what kind of progress you've made.
So I don't know what's going to happen to all the history of your Mint, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you have 10 years of history.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to download that stuff now before they pull the plug.
It's true.
But if you keep your spreadsheet in the cloud, it's always accessible.
Yeah.
I've been doing this exact spreadsheet, this format, for like 15 years, probably even longer.
Mm-hmm.
But I did lose it because my computer crashed in like 2007, and I lost my file.
Ooh.
Yeah, devastating. And so I use a Google Sheet now and save it in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So with our tracking, as you said, over time, see we have the months at the top going across, and this is, it doesn't have to stop there. You can just, when December hits, just roll into January and have it keep going, and you can have years and years of data on one spreadsheet. Same thing with your net worth. I really love to go back and see how your net worth has grown over time, right? Your investments are going up, your real estate's going up, you are saving more money through
paying things down.
Yeah, your liabilities go down, you're adding money into your 401 and Roth IRAs, et cetera, HSAs.
Yeah.
And so with all that happening, over time, your net worth is growing. And that's the reward, right, for having a good budgeting system, right? And being more intimate with your money. So peakwm.com/expenses, check it out. And, you know, if you're looking for a replacement for Mint, this is a good solution for that as well. So our call to action is to begin expense tracking and net worth tracking. Maybe it's a New Year's resolution. It's right around the corner here, a month away. So that's it. Any closing thoughts?
I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think it's one of the most helpful things, you know, we've ever done for personal finance. And just, it sounds daunting at first, right? But just get in the habit. I pay the bill, I toggle over to the sheet, I put it on the sheet. That's all you're doing, tracking the numbers. So I think it's super helpful.
I actually do it a little differently, but that's fine, right? On the first of the month, I have a reminder on my phone that goes off that says, fill out the expense tracking sheet. So I just look back at the last month and see what went out. And personally, like, all the bills are the same, right? So it's so simple once you get it set up.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually the only variable is like how much was on the credit card.
Yeah.
Because I use the card for the points.
And your auto insurance. That seems to go up every month now.
I'll have to take a look at that. I will take a look. Okay, so that's it for this episode 203 of the Trust the Plan podcast. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and go Blue.
If you enjoyed our program, please subscribe and share. If you'd like to learn more about our services, please visit peakwm.com. peakwm.com today. See you next week.